Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kaitlyn Dobrow, and today I'm doing a ready, kind of maroony fall makeup tutorial with a dark lip and a wing. So if you want to see me go from this to this, then keep on watching. Okay, so first things first, my mom is just spritzing Smashbox primer water all over my face. And this is my first time using this product, and this stuff actually gets like tacky when it dries down a bit. But anyways, to start off this makeup look, I'm going to do my brows, and I'm using the Sigma E75 angle brow brush, and I'm going into the Urban Decay Brow Box in Honey Pot, and I'm dipping into that cooler toned color. And I'm just filling in my brows mostly to darken them up and to fill in those patchy spots that I have. And I just brushed my hairs forward so I can make sure to get those pretty much bald spots and make sure that they were completely filled in. And lastly, I also darkened up the tail of my brow to make it all defined and whatnot. And I just continued to make my brows darker and more defined until I was satisfied. Even though I don't look that satisfied, but I was satisfied. Now to plaster down these brows so my hairs don't start curling and going all crazy, I'm using the Makeup Forever Brow Seal, and this stuff has no tint or color in it. It is the translucent one. And so I'm just brushing that through my brows, and I use a lot of this stuff because, again, I have crazy eyebrow hairs. But yeah, so I'm brushing this product through my brows, and I just use the spoolie brush that it comes with to shape and move my hairs around to get that brow shape that I want. And bam, we are already done with the brows. Yes! Now on to the eyeballs. To start off with the eyes, I'm using a creamy base. I'm using the Shiseido concealer in 22 Natural Light. And yes, Kaitlyn, that would be smart not to eat the concealer. Oh god. But anyways, so I'm just going straight in with the product, adding that all over my lids up to my brows. This stuff is literally like my skin tone, which will help sculpt out my brows when we start blending this out. 2 in 1. Bam bam. So weird. Now I'm taking a Sephora eyeshadow brush to blend out that concealer in a somewhat of a patting / swiping motion, but more along the lines of patting. I also drag that concealer into my inner corner to nude out that part, and also slightly onto my bottom lash line. And lastly, I clean up the bottom part of my brows. And to set that Shiseido concealer, I'm using MAC Blanc type eyeshadow, and this color isn't stark white, as my camera was showing. It has a beigey undertone to it. And I noticed the concealer was already creasing, so I smoothed the crease parts out and quickly added the MAC Blanc type shadow all over my lid and in my crease so the concealer wouldn't crease again. I'm also taking that shadow all the way up to my brows and adding it into my inner corner as well. Now to start adding some colors. The first shade I'm using is Banana by Bobbi Brown, and this is just going to slightly deepen up my crease. And honestly, this shade probably isn't even necessary, but I want to make this look as perfect as possible. I don't know. So I'm just adding that shade into my crease with my Urban Decay blending brush, and I'm just using windshield wiper motions and bringing that all the way into my inner eye area. I don't know. You guys can see what I'm doing. And I didn't build up this color, so there's just a very faint yellow tint to my crease. Next, I'm going in with another Bobbi Brown eyeshadow, and this one is called Toast. And this is one of my favorite colors to use for like red tone makeup looks. It's so pretty. Just straight up sounded like an old man right there. Okay then. And I'm adding that color into my crease with the same Urban Decay brush using windshield wiper motions, and I really wanted this color to stand out, so I built up this color a lot until it looked like this. Next, I'm going into my 252 Coastal Suns palette, and I'm using this bright red color. And I'm just popping that into my crease and my outer V with the Urban Decay flat shadow brush. And I'm dragging that red just above my crease, but I'm making sure the red is mostly focused in my crease rather than above it. And I'm just going to blend that out for my life so it all blends in seamlessly with the Toast color. And I realized I wanted that red to pop more, so I added more of the shadow onto my blending brush and started blending like no tomorrow. Again. Just a little FYI, this look required a lot of blending, so you're going to see me blending in fast motion a lot throughout this eyeshadow part. My bad. And again, my crease still wasn't red enough for me, so I took the flat shadow brush, added just a bit of that red again, and just pressed the brush into my crease, which finally made it look the way that I wanted it to. Yay! Finally! Okay, now that we're done with the red shadow, I'm going into this dark brown shade, also from the Coastal Suns palette. Another FYI, all the colors I've used so far are matte, just thought you guys would like to know that. But anyways, just how I first apply the red shade, I'm applying that dark brown as well, patting it into my crease and the outer V, and again dragging it up past my crease, but not as far as I did the red last time, and if anything, mostly focusing that brown on the outer V. And again, fast motion blending for my life. until that brown blends into that red shadow. And I noticed after blending out that brown, my eyes weren't as dark as I wanted them to be, so I added a matte black from the same Coastal Scents palette into my crease and outer V. And again, more blending. And lastly, for the crease, I'm mixing the dark brown and red together to make the whole look more sultry, I guess you could say. So I'm blending that mix into my crease, and this part took a lot longer to blend out, but when I was done, I was stoked on how it turned out. Yay! Okay, now we're finally done with the crease. So to start off with the lid, I'm going into this Marc Jacobs palette called the Vamp, and I'm going into that red shade. And this color has like a sheen to it, but amped up. It doesn't have a sparkle, but it kind of has like a reflective quality to it, if that makes any sense. But I'm packing that red all over my lid, and I wet my brush with the Smashbox primer water, and I think I wet my brush just a little bit too much because it went on kind of funny, but either way it worked out in the end. Next I'm going in with this MAC pigment called Rose, and this is a super pretty duochrome color, and again, I wet my brush with the Smashbox primer water to intensify this pigment, and this time it actually worked out a lot better, so I'm just patting that all over my lid. And just so the pigment blends in with the crease colors, I took my blending brush with the tiniest bit of that red-brown mixture and very carefully blended the two together so there wasn't a huge harsh line separating them. Okay, yay! Now we can finally move on from the shadow. I really wanted to do a dramatic wing, so I'm first using the Stila All Day Liquid Eyeliner in black, and since mine is almost empty, it works awesomely to map out where I want my wing and pretty much outline my wing in general. And this eyeliner also helps to make my wing super sharp, so that's another reason why I use it for the outline. Now that I have my outline, I'm going to fill in my wing with this Sephora liquid eyeliner, and I love filling in my wing with this because it's so liquidy, so it just easily glides right on. And bam! We are done with the wing. Now to start on the face. To prime my skin, I'm going into this Bare Minerals Primetime Neutralizer, and this stuff gets rid of redness and all around just neutralizes your skin tone. And I'm applying that with my Cover FX Liquid Foundation brush, and I'm just adding that all over my face in a patting motion because this brush is so dense that sometimes when I just swipe the brush, the product just comes like right off. So patting works best for me. Now that I'm done with my primer, I'm going into my Real Techniques stippling brush, and I'm mixing my Kat Von D foundation and my Revlon foundation together, and I'm just stippling that combination all over my face. And I ended up cake facing it this day because I honestly was way too lazy to remove the extra foundation that was on my brush, so it just ended up all over my face. But besides that sad fact, I'm bringing that foundation down my neck, and I also sculpted out the top of my brows. Now to smooth out that loads of foundation, I'm using my beauty blender, and honestly I have never wet my beauty blender for the fear of water dripping into my arm and me straight up just short-circuiting. So with that being said, I'm taking my dry beauty blender and patting it all over my face. Okay, now that my foundation is on and all smoothed out and all pretty, I'm going to start on my concealer, and I'm using my MAC Select Cover Up Concealer in NW15, and I'm using the Sephora foundation brush to apply it under my eyes in a triangle-esque formation. Why did I say it like that? I'm also cleaning up my wing and my inner corners where some eyeshadow got where I didn't want it to be, and I also get this as close to my lash line as possible. And I'm blending out that concealer with my dry beauty blender, and while I was blending this out, I noticed that my concealer was abnormally lighter than my foundation. So instead of setting it with a translucent powder, I'm going into my Benefit Hello Flawless Foundation Powder in I Love Me, just to put some color back underneath my eyes. And I'm applying that with a Sephora blush brush, and I decided to add that to the rest of my face as well, just to set my foundation. Okay, now that that's done, we can start to contour. I'm using the Smashbox Contour Kit, and I'm taking that grayish color with the same Sephora blush brush. And I'm still new at the whole contour bronzing thing, so I could be totally doing this wrong, but I like the way it came out anyways. But I'm just putting that grayish color into the hollow of my cheeks, and on my forehead, and under my jawline. And bam, contoured. Next, I'm using my Sigma F15 brush, and I forgot to show you guys the product I'm using, so I added in a little clip from another video down in the bottom right corner. But I'm using this MAC Mineralized Eyeshadow in Ice, and I'm using it to highlight my cheeks, and this has more of a sparkle to it, rather than like that highlighting effect to it, so it didn't show up on my camera as well as I'd hoped, so my bad about that. Now that we're done with the face, I'm going back into my eyes and I'm using my CoverGirl Full Lash Blue Mascara, and this has become my like go-to mascara. I'm just seriously loving this one right now. But yeah, so I'm adding this to my top and bottom lashes. It looks so pretty! Okay, next I'm using my Urban Decay Flat Shadow Brush, and I'm mixing the brown and red coastal scent shadows like I did for the crease earlier in the video, and I'm adding that to my bottom lash line, and I'm bringing that all the way into my inner corner. And please excuse the lighting, I didn't realize that the sun has been setting earlier than normal, so it makes like shadow lines for my shutters and all that good stuff, so I'm so sorry about that. But anyways, I flipped over my brush to the blending side, and I'm blending out that red-brown mixture just enough so it wasn't just like a super harsh line underneath my lashes, but it wasn't super smoked out, you know what I mean? Now moving on to the lips, I'm using the Sephora Nano Lip Liner, and honestly, I don't think they sell this anymore, so I'm sorry about that. And this color really surprised me. I thought it was a straight up brown, but it's actually like a purpley brown. Super pretty. But I'm outlining my lips with this color, and I'm also filling in my lips with this lip liner as well. Until it looked like this. Yay. And over top of that liner, I'm using the Smashbox Be Legendary Lipstick in Witchy. And this color is seriously so gorgeous. It's so pretty. And yeah, the only thing left to do is to let my hair down. And my lovely mom is cutting out the hairband, not my hair, even though it looks like it. She's not. That face though. Oh, and one last thing before I go, I put kohl eyeliner on my Tightline and waterline. I would have shown the footage of that, but it honestly just straight up like disappeared. I don't know, it was extremely strange, but anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this grungy fall makeup tutorial. Thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!